Welcome back. You're watching Citizen Extra. We are now into the second hour. My name is Wahiga Mwaura. And before we get into our discussion for this hour, we want to cross over to Mombasa County to have a chat with Asha Bikidusa. Today she's talking about matters environment, pollution, and she is going to have a chit-chat with the CEC of Environment for Mombasa County. Asha, what can you tell us?
Very good morning to you, Wahiga. I'm coming live from Mombasa County Assembly, just in front of the County Assembly offices here in Mombasa. And shortly I'll be speaking to the CEC Environment here in Mombasa, who will be giving me details concerning the garbage collection details which has been going on. And you know, recently Wahiga, residents of Mombasa, have been complaining about the garbage here in Mombasa, and they've been saying that Mombasa is that well. I'll be talking to him and he'll be telling us what measures the county has taken to ensure that the garbage in Mombasa is cleared. Bwana Waziri, kindly tell us your name and maybe what measures have you taken as the county to clear the garbage here in Mombasa?
Yeah, my name is Godfrey Nyongesa Nato. As you have rightly put it, I'm the CEC in charge of environment, waste management and energy. Maybe briefly and quickly, the measures we are putting in place to address the issues of garbage is, one, we want to clear the garbage that has piled up in quite a number of places in the county, and that one we have been doing for quite some time now. We started this work last month, and we hope that in the next few days or a week we should be through with clearing most of these areas. Then immediately we do that, what we are doing is when we clear particularly those illegal dumping sites, when we clear the place, we close the place, because we have too many illegal dump sites that we want to close. So what you'll be doing, what you'll be seeing us do is that immediately we clear a place that we consider an illegal dump site, we will close it and make sure that we enforce nobody dumps there again.
And residents of Mombasa are asking, earlier this week the governor said that they'll be levying maybe for garbage collection. Maybe up to now, what measures are there?
You know, the garbage, generally the management of garbage is a very, very expensive affair. And what we are dealing at the moment in Mombasa is that we are dealing with a population of about 2.3 million residents of Mombasa County. And we have visitors coming in that we approximate about 1 million coming in the morning and then going in the evening. So, and all these are generators of waste. So we are talking about waste that is being generated by about 2.3 million people in a day. That's a lot of waste. And it requires a lot of resources. And those are resources that the county government does not have at the moment. So what we want to do is to simply have a small, what we call waste management levy, so that we can generate some resources that then we can use to clean up Mombasa. And this is not something that we are getting from the blues. It is something that is in our Waste Management Act that we passed in 2017. We just wish to implement. And we will communicate to the people of Mombasa how much we will wish to levy. And I'm very sure there will be a discussion on it. And if they agree with it, then we will start the implementation.
And the county government has blamed the private garbage collectors that may be, basically, they are the main people who are dumping garbage carelessly. Maybe how are you coordinating with them to make sure that there is no garbage in Mombasa County?
You see, essentially what happens is that there are other players in waste management. And these players, some of them are licensed, others are not licensed. Now the ones who are licensed, when we give them the license, we tell them where to take the garbage. And usually we have 3 dump sites, and so we tell them you will either dump in Makirunge, or you will dump in Shonda in Likoni, or you will dump in Kibarani. Now what happens is that in their quick move to make money, they don't necessarily go and dump where we have told them to do. And they end up dumping in those illegal collection points that we are talking about. So that's the challenge we have. And then we have those that are not licensed, the ones that are using the hand carts, or what we call mkokoteni. Now those ones have not been licensed by us, but they are in the business of garbage collection. And so, because they know they are not licensed, they cannot take that waste all the way to our dump sites because our officers are there. So they end up now introducing illegal dump sites within the county. So what we have said is that we have given them 7 days to come and register with us, so that we know who is in this operation, and we know who is licensed and who is not. And those ones who are not licensed, we'll ask them to get the license, or we remove them out of the business.
What about Kibarani dump site? It has been termed as a nuisance since it's on your way when you're coming to Mombasa from the airport. What plans do you have for Kibarani dump site?
The plans we have for Kibarani dump site is to decommission it. We understand that its location is not appropriate for a dump site. And so we are discussing on the modalities of decommissioning it, which we want to believe that it will happen within the next few months.
And the governor spoke about a recycling plant. How far are the plans for the recycling plant?
What I know that is the governor's passion and wish is not just a recycling plant, is to have an integrated waste management system. And the system starts all the way from collection, transportation, disposal, and then it includes elements of recycling and reuse. So recycling is an element of the integrated waste management system that we plan to roll within the 5 years.
And finally, Waziri, maybe what would you like to tell the residents of Mombasa, because some of them have been complaining that the garbage which is there brings diseases like dengue fever, chikungunya and cholera. What is your message to the residents of Mombasa?
I think my message to the residents of Mombasa is that waste management is not a county affair alone. We are all in this thing. And the waste starts with the generator. If the generator handles the waste well, and then brings the waste to the places where we have asked them to do, I don't think we'll have a big problem. So the residents of Mombasa County should partner with us instead of fighting us. I think that should be the message. Let them handle the waste accordingly. Let them not think that we should collect waste from their houses. That will be a tall order. But if they can organize themselves, manage their waste at the household level, and then we pick from there, I think we'll have a clean Mombasa.
And I remember perhaps there is a bylaw which maybe if somebody is dumping is being fined. Maybe is that bylaw not being implemented, or how is it?
And that's what I was mentioning yesterday to the residents of Mombasa, that we have an act in place. It's just that we had been quiet on it for some time now. But within the 20 days, we want to operationalize that act. Is such that somebody has to manage their waste within 5 kilometers of their precincts. And the business people will be required to put waste bins at their residence, so that if somebody comes to your shop, buys something and generates waste, they have to put it in the waste bin that you have in your precincts. Then we can now collect it from there. So we are going to effect those bylaws. In the act, nobody is allowed to litter public places. And we are going to enforce that. So if you are found throwing waste through the windows of your vehicle, we will get up to you. We will get to you at one point. And I think the fines are very, very clear and very specific.
Thank you very much, Waziri. Wahiga, as you've heard of the Waziri of Environment here, CEC Environment Mombasa County has said that within the next 20 days, anybody being found litter in public will be fined according to the laws of the county. And now back to you, Wahiga, in studio.
Thank you so much, Asha Bikidusa, for that interview. Of course, that's been a big discussion, especially on social media, about the state of cleanliness of Mombasa County and what the county is, going to do to sort that out. Remember, of course, Mombasa, a lot of visitors move straight there, from the time they touch down at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. And so we will come back to that CEC in 20 days to see what sort of changes are happening in terms of keeping them accountable. Well, we want to continue focusing just briefly on the environment before we come to talk about the EU Observer report here in studio. So let's get a comment from Nikki Gitonga, who's not too far from where... Okay, so Nikki will be coming to us shortly, but Gabriel Mumma, who joins us here, is a political analyst, but he's also very passionate about matters environment. Mombasa, you were actually commenting as the CEC was speaking. What immediately came to mind as he spoke about Mombasa residents should take charge, come together, put all their garbage or leave all their garbage in a central location the county government can pick. He spoke about an integrated waste management system and what the county is trying to do to fix Mombasa. But you had some further thoughts on the same.
Thank you, Wahiga. Well, number one, to an extent, I'll agree with Waziri when he's saying the residents of Mombasa has a part to play, and that's the easiest part, because you're talking about taking garbage from my house, ensuring it's in the right container, putting it outside, and then they come and take the garbage and they dispose it. We're talking about two facets here. We're talking about disposal and what to do with the garbage thereafter. And I'm glad that they are talking about so much stuff that they were talking during the campaign trail. You know, and that's the funny thing. For 5 years, you know, they've given lip service. You remember when even came time to clean Kongoya Market, you would not have thought that kind of garbage in Kongoya. When you talk about Kibarani, that has been a debate since way back when, even before Mombasa became a county. So when Joho was running, during the campaign trail, he had brilliant ideas. In fact, matters and majority of his campaign was talking about cleaning Mombasa. You know, 5 years removed, serious, nothing has been done. Kibarani the other day, moving from Kibarani, there was, I don't know, there was some political infighting, and guess where they took that garbage? Into Nyali. Just because the president was going to Nyali. So garbage has become...
You have proof that
yes,
just because...
Yes, I was there. I saw it personally.
Okay, well, we don't have someone from Mombasa to county to... But anyway, carry on.
Anybody around Freetown, they will tell you. That's where the garbage, you know, trucks were taking garbage there. Because remember, there's something that the CEC environment in Mombasa has said. They are having problems with private collectors.
Yes.
And where to dispose. But who is to hold these people responsible? Look at a place in Malindi. The former billionaire, Briatore, he's saying, he's talking about moving his investment out of Malindi.
Malindi is sorted out.
For the very same thing.
That's correct.
Garbage. So you're talking about a problem that we've talked about back to back, but there's still nobody who has a way out. In Mombasa right now, we should not be talking about garbage disposal. No. If you told people 5 years ago that you have a plan of injecting capital, bringing people, partnering, PPP programs, to bring a scenario whereby you have many people who are coming to get into this business and ensure that garbage in Mombasa is, you know, disposed properly, it should have been done by now. And I'm not saying it's not a challenge. It is a challenge, but you must find ways right now. In fact, that's the only thing that we should be talking about.
That should be the one deliverable.
Before, I mean, some time back, it was the road from the airport to the city center. That has been fixed. How long did it take to fix that? I mean, you're in Mombasa, you just told me the other.
Yes.
And look at that road. I mean, so that traffic, the congestion that we were talking about between the, you know, Portrees and Mombasa Island, that has already been taken care of.
That's right.
Garbage. Unless you tell me you still have cartels within that, you know, and we know...
But we haven't found a way to dismantle.
Exactly. So what I'm finding funny is how the CEC is trying to bounce around with the answers. The big responsibility lies to them, albeit the fact that the residents, they have some work to do.
Yes.
But the big and the majority of what you're talking about lies with them. They need to set up clear policy of how to go about it.
Let's compare what's happening in Mombasa with what's happening in Kwale County. Our correspondent there letting us know that there are some challenges with the drainage system there, and let's get better details from Nikki Gitonga now. Not too far from Mombasa County, Kwale County. Let's see what sort of challenges there are environmentally there. Nikki, what can you tell us?
Well, we are getting you live from Kwale at Diani town. We know that Diani beach was voted as the best beach 4 consecutive times by an international organization, World Travel Awards, African World Travel Awards. Despite Diani Beach being voted as the best beach due to its sandy beaches, we in Kwale we have a center called Diani, or we can call it Diani Town, that connects Diani with the hotels. But the problem is within Diani Center, we do not have a proper drainage system. The one that was to be constructed by the county government in the budget of 2014-2015 has actually stalled, and already over 42 million shilling was spent. Maybe my cameraman can show, can pan towards what was supposed to be the drainage system. And this is, for our viewers, you can see sewage, and even some of the waste. And this is what actually county government was trying to construct to curb flooding that normally occurs during rainy season. The other interesting bit, or you can say the other start seeing that as much as Diani being the best beach, or Diani being a tourist destination, Diani town has got no public toilet, and this has caused a major health hazard. As we know that Mombasa County, we have a neighboring county called Mombasa, where there's an outbreak of diseases like chikungunya, anyangnyong, and malaria, where normally sewage is a breeding ground for such diseases. Right now, being joined by a resident here is going to tell us more about the challenges they are facing, especially those who reside within town. Pengine kwa majina uanze na utuelezee kuhusiana na huu mtaro ambao umejengwa na serikali ya kaunti ya Kwale.
Naam, kwa majina najulikana kama Hamisi Mwero, na mimi ni mkaaji katika eneo hili la Diani. Na serikali ya kaunti ya Kwale ilipoleta huu mradi wa hii drainage, tulifurahikia sana, tukaona kwamba maana tulikuwa na matatizo sana ya maji hapa ilikuwa ni mengi. Lakini bahati mbaya mradi huu umekuwa tena ni tatizo kwa wananchi wa Diani, kwa sababu huu mtaro ulikuwa uende paka chini mtoni, lakini kwa hivi sasa umekatikia hapo katikati. Kwa hiyo haya maji ambayo mnayoona hapa ni kwamba huko chini hayawezi kwenda, kwa hiyo ni tatizo. Hata ni juzi tu ni gari ya watalii iliweza kuingia ndani ya mtaro, kwa sababu hapa tulipo huu mtaro uko kwenye magoti yangu, lakini ukaenda huko chini ni kimo changu mimi, na huu mtaro uko wazi. Kwa hiyo ni tatizo nenda rudi. Kwa tunaomba serikali ya kaunti, huu mtaro sisi tuliukaribisha kwa mikono miwili. Iwapo kweli walikuwa wanataka kutuhudumia, wahakikisha kwamba huu mtaro unamalizika, ili tuweze kupata manufaa katika pesa zetu ambazo tunazibajetia. Hata leo kuna public participation, nikitoka hapa naenda huko kuelezea juu ya huu mtaro.
Wakati wa mvua, najua kama tunaelekea katika msimu wa mvua, je, hali wewe inakuwa vipi hapa?
Wallahi, wakati wa mvua, yani mtoto akitoka kama anaenda shule, basi kuna mawili: mtoto huyo arudi nyumbani, ama kuna wasiweze kupita, kwa sababu huu mtaro nimekuambia huko chini ni kimo changu mimi. Kwa hiyo leo hii mvua ikinyesha kama unavyoona juu ya anga, ikiwapo mvua itaanza kunyesha, itakuwa ni matatizo nenda. Tunaomba Mungu basi tubaki na kiangazi miaka yote, badala ya kupata huu mtaro ambao uko hivi, na matatizo ni mengi sana ndugu yangu.
Swali la mwisho, vyoo, hamna vyoo hapa katika town yetu, pengine unaweza ulizungumzia?
Ni kweli hii town iko na watu wengi sana na hakuna vyoo. Kuna kimoja pale kilikuwa kimechimbwa hapa tulipo pale chini, kuna kimoja kilichimbwa, lakini kichoo hakitumiki, sijui tatizo ni nini. Kwa hiyo pesa ilitumika kuchimba hivyo vyoo, lakini vyoo vyenyewe havitumiki.
We can also get one last resident here. Maybe you can start with your name and tell us about the drainage system in Kwale County. So far, has it helped in any way?
Okay, my name's Mombasa Mackenzie. I'm a resident of Diani, and actually regarding the drainage system, it's a pathetic, shoddy and a messy work from county government, considering that it has wasted our hard-earned taxes as a taxpayers. Therefore, this, according to the reports that I have as a human rights defender, the project was budgeted for 42 million, but so far it has the expenditure for the project, it has costed 22 million, and the contractor has been paid all the money. And there is a report from the county government, the Committee of Infrastructure, the previous county government assembly, which I have in my hand. It is this one over here. This report, it has some recommendation regarding the drainage system, whereby one of the recommendation was supposed to disregard the contract which was awarded to the contractor. But it's really ashaming to see that when the report was out, the contractor was still doing the job. And some of the issues that are in this report is that, first, the drainage system, there was no proper design from the county engineer. And secondly, there was no report of the environmental assessment impact report from NEMA. So, such kind of issues, to be brief, they have brought some messes in our place. Regarding that, when it rains now, and as you have seen a lot of garbages within the, or rubbishes within the drainage system, when it rains, it goes direct to the river Mwachema, and when it swept out from River Mwachema to the Indian Ocean, it will bring some negative impact to the living animals.
All right, maybe as a Kwale resident, what do you want from the county government as far as sanitation is concerned?
Okay, for me to be brief, I just want the report to be implemented, and those capable of being messed up with this drainage system should face the law. That's very simple.
Those are views from the resident of Dian town. We know that actually some of the residents are crying that they are at risk, especially this is the rainy season. The rainy season is about to come, and maybe some of them are going to be swept away by the diseases like chikungunya or even malaria. So that's all we have from here. Wahiga, back to you.
Well, thank you, Nikki, just for letting us know the situation in Kwale County, specifically Diani town, popular tourist hotspot, the place to be, over the holidays, and just the challenges there. We certainly hope the county government will fix that. Those are not the kind of images you want to see in a tourist destination like that. Gabriel also commenting as that was going on. Just your brief thoughts before we get into the topic we were actually meant to do this hour.
And you see, I mean, you put it very clearly. Dian is one place where, back in the day, that was a very clean place. I mean, the Swahili beaches of Dian, beautiful place. Now, you're talking about a drainage, and it's not only us. I mean, the residents of Diani are saying, we don't understand what is happening. And if you look at if such an infrastructure has a design flaw, we don't need to wait for 2, 4, 3 months. I mean, you have talented people who should take care of that. So back to back, when you're talking about diseases, we're talking about malaria and the other one that they are talking chikungunya, I don't know. It is a concerted effort, as much as we agree. But at the end of the day, the responsibility lies with the county government. And one thing, I really need to stress is that if you look at mainly the coastal areas, if you look at the campaign, the messaging that was coming during the campaign trail, it was all about garbage. I mean, the highest percentage was about the garbage, drainage, and water view. This, to me, and I'm not out to hit on anyone. This is massive failure. Okay. This is massive failure. Okay. They need to take good care of the residents in Mombasa.
Okay. I believe your message has gotten out. Let's now switch gears. The European Union's chief observer in the August and October 2017 election, and we should be seeing her picture on the screen shortly, that's Maricha Shaka, says her plans to come to Kenya to present a report on the polls were frustrated. She said this yesterday. In a televised address on Wednesday morning from Brussels, she said she had to read the report from the European Union Parliament so as to meet the EU's guidelines of presenting a report 3 months after an election. But in a swift rejoinder, Kenya, through its embassy in Brussels, termed as dishonest the claim that it declined to receive the EU election observer mission, stating that the release of the report in Belgium was done in a premature manner. We'll be talking about this right now, and joining me in studio to have this discussion, of course, Gabriel Mumma, who I've already introduced, a political analyst. And right next to him is Eustace Kinyua, who is with ELOG and as the election processes manager. Welcome to the program, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now, quickly get into it. Let me get your take on the whole situation. Very interesting series of events yesterday. First of all, EU chief observer says plans to come to Kenya frustrated. She says that we were prepared to come to Kenya this week, but we've understood, however, that the Kenyan government is not prepared to receive us within the terms foreseen in the Memorandum of Understanding signed between the EU and Kenya. Let me start with you, Eustace, first. What's your take on the events that we saw yesterday, the address by the election observer mission, and then the quick response by the Brussels Kenyan representative there, that's Weru?
Okay, for starters, I want to start by saying that I want to congratulate the European Union for their quick and sticking to their timeline in releasing of their report. That is a plus for them because, as they have said, they have a timeline that is within 3 months they are supposed to have released their report. And then, for sure, as an observer or as an election observation group, ELOG, we are also in the process of preparing our own report, which is going to be released later this month. So
later this month.
By end of January, we'll be releasing our report. So I think from the point of view of an observer, the EU, they have the right to release their reports. When, where, and how should not be the thing that we discuss at this point, or what we should be looking at as Kenyan people is the content they are in. what have they said about in their report? Are they capturing the aspiration of Kenya?